Oh, well, good morning, everyone. Mm, yeah, so we're in the space of metta, loving kindness. Yeah, and we'll be on that for the rest of the month. And uh, someone mentioned in in the Q&A on Thursday some of the struggles that they're having around sending metta to a difficult person. Yeah. Mm. And wanted to say something about that because I think that's fairly common for us. There are two most difficult people for us to send metta to. One is the difficult person, right? It's really rough, isn't it? You start to go through metta, and it's hard enough getting into it, right? For many of us, getting into it. Okay, I can get into it a little bit. I can a little bit with a friend, a little bit with one of my good family members, one of the ones that's easier to be around. I can get into it a little bit with my cats. My cats. I can get into it with my cats. Yeah. And I can get into it a little bit with, when I reflect on the world in general. Of course, that there's just so much suffering out there in a general sense. It's like, how did I get so lucky? But then there's the difficult person. And the difficult person, there's one other difficult person, which is ourselves. And it's so striking that in the West, in the East, this has been a surprise to more than one senior teacher in the East, that it would be so difficult for students in the West to send metta to themselves. Yeah. I mean, even in the suttas, as to others, as to myself, as if I'm already, of course, filled with metta toward myself, and I want to extend that, of course, to others as to myself. And it's like, oh, and that's where the whole that's why the whole emphasis, increasingly, the emphasis on self-compassion is arising so uh, uh, dramatically, really. Self-compassion practices over the last 20, 25 years in this culture, way more than self-compassion is practiced in the East as formal practice. But there's a sense that we need that even more. And when I was thinking about giving a talk on working with the difficult person this morning, it occurred to me that in many ways, still, for all of us, we're the difficult person. And there's a sense for myself in my own practice as well. When I start to get to the difficult person out there, to go, why don't we just, what's the next level? What's that of that difficult person within myself? Because the more I can say this, the more I have not exactly peeled away layers, but the more I have opened to being able to hold the difficult person within myself, those sides of myself that I haven't liked very much, and then moving further, the parts of myself that I really don't like very much, and then moving further, that part that still is doubting, still is fearful, still is sometimes feels isolated, etc. So whatever it may be in us, the more we can open more there, the more I'm able to turn toward the difficult person out there and go, oh yeah, whatever's going on with you, I get it. I get it. There but for causes and conditions go I. There's no part of me that's better than any part of you. We're all in the swimming in the same aquarium here. If I had the same causes and conditions that you had and that you have now out there, difficult person, I'd be that difficult person. The only reason that I'm not quite in that space is because I've had causes and conditions around me. I've had so much love around me. I've had so much support around me. Not because I'm special. It really is. It really comes down to that simple algorithm. It's like, yeah, yeah. So it does make it easier. It makes it a little easier, but the direction of that is still, what's the next level of self-compassion? What's the next place? What's that place that I still haven't welcomed fully? There's a serving suggestion, right? To contemplate that for a moment. What is that place in you? What is that place in all of us that is still, yeah, I like myself a little bit more than I used to, but not this habit, not this little addiction, not this little carelessness, not this pattern. Ah, ah, what about that? Am I still feeling aversion toward that? Oh, oh. So metta in that sense, toward the difficult person within, is is just another level of there's so many levels to our practice. There's levels of self-honesty, levels of, uh, levels of recognizing that we haven't fully arrived, which is that's the way it is. It's not about arriving, but it is about the next level to open to welcome. I would suggest to welcome. It's easier said than done for some of the darker corners. Yeah, but still, that's because it's not aversion that's going to take care of it, and it's not wishing that it will go away and never come back that's going to take care of it. Because how's that worked out? I think we know, or we're at least beginning to know. It's a hard knowing. It's a hard knowing that we need to turn toward that thing that we've never wanted to turn toward, those aspects of ourselves that we've never really wanted to turn toward. Maybe the Dharma will take care of all that, and it will usher it all out the door, all of that stuff. Maybe that's not the path. Maybe the path really is turning toward what is difficult to turn toward. In the same way that it's difficult to turn toward a difficult, really difficult person out there. Similarly, it's difficult to turn toward this one. To whatever's in there for you, for me, whatever part of that little boy that still hasn't been held. By whom? By me at this point. Oh, you know. So gently, gradually, eh? How do we continue to welcome layer after layer of this being human, layer after layer, not all at once, it's not dramatically, layer after layer, layer after layer, layer after layer. Yeah. Hmm. And here, will you discover that? I'm still finding that to be. I never wanted to do that. No, I don't need to do this. I mean, what is this? Helps me. Hmm. So that's my difficult person talk for the moment. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for your attention, of course. And yeah, let's practice together. We'll turn a little of our attention in this direction this morning to your degree, to your degree. Now let's open up first. Yeah. And when you're ready, lightly closing the eyes. And coming to the breath, being willing to come to the breath to see that it's already moving. The breath of life is already still moving in us. and orienting toward settling. In the direction of softening. And in beginning to bring metta forward, it's so helpful to start with whatever is most simple and straightforward, where the heart immediately goes, oh yeah, that person. Those cats, my cats, I often go to my cats first. Something that is someone that is near at hand. Near at hand. And if it suits you, it's just optional, yeah? You'd like to turn your metta toward hmm, toward yourself, yeah, in particular, toward maybe a part of yourself that you generally don't turn toward in meditation, that you kind of gets a little bit left out there. What would it be like to extend a little invitation to that part, just a little, to welcome a little, to warm up to a little, to care a little to that part of yourself? Keeping the breath soft if you can. Yeah. Softening. The last few minutes of the meditation. Kindly.
Thank you all for your